But what is a great what-if question is in terms of Triple H. Triple H was originally supposed to win the 1996 King of the Ring tournament. And the MSG curtain call incident kind of derailed that. That was the incident where Diesel and Razor Ramon had already signed contracts to go over to WCW. It was their last night in the company at a house show at Madison Square Garden. Razor lost, I believe, to Triple H. And Diesel lost in the main event to Shawn Michaels. Now, Diesel was a heel. Razor was a babyface. Shawn Michaels, who Diesel had just wrestled, was a babyface, and yet at the end of the show, all of them, Triple H came out, who had been a heel up to that point. They broke kayfabe. They broke character. They embraced. They hugged. They celebrated in the ring. These days, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal, but back then it was a huge deal. Shawn Michaels was the champion, so you weren't going to punish him. Diesel and Razor were already gone. They were going to WCW. You couldn't do anything to them. So the heat all fell on Triple H. And the plans for him to win the King of the Ring instead were changed to have Austin win the tournament. Triple H went on to really be jobbed out quite a bit. And in fact, if I remember correctly, I think he lost to Jake the Snake. I think that might have been a qualifying match. That's how Jake got into the tournament, although I could be wrong about that. So, yeah, Triple H really got screwed over. Had Triple H won the King of the Ring in '96 and Austin did not, it begs the question how things might have been different. Again, I think in the end, both guys would have ended up in the same position that they ended up being in anyway. But perhaps it would have delayed things a little bit more. Maybe the Attitude Era would have taken on a little bit of a different look had Triple H won that tournament and they kind of cast Austin off as somebody who didn't belong in the main event scene. Triple H and Mankind in the finals of the tournament had a pretty good match. Again, they would go on to have a whole host of matches years later. And as I mentioned, Helmsley finally getting his elusive King of the Ring victory 1 year later. Better late than never, I suppose. He would go on to meet Mankind in a rematch of the finals at SummerSlam. They opened the show in a steel cage, and Foley won. So it's not as though Triple H went on to big things right away either.